Hello. Chapter 2 Biology Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. What are flowers? Flowers are the site of sexual reproduction. Flowers are the site of sexual reproduction in plants. Parts of plants, you all know: sepals, petals, anthers, stigma, pollens, androecium, gynoecium, and all. Now we will see what is the male reproductive part, that is stamen. A stamen has two main parts, filament and anther. Anther is the main part, which is bilobed, and each lobe has two theca. So there are total 4 thecae, in which the main tissue called the microsporogenesis is present. Now, what is the structure of microsporogenesis? In a transverse section, we can see microsporogenesis has 4 layers. Outermost is epidermis, then endothelium, then are the middle layers, and innermost layer is known as the tapetum. Epidermis, endothelium, middle layers, tapetum, and inside the tapetum are the main cells which produce gametes, and these cells are known as microspore mother cell. Microspore, okay, microspore mother cell. This is the main sporogenous tissue. Now, what are the function of the 4 layers of microsporogenesis? Epidermis, endothelium, and middle layer. They have the same function, that is protection and help in dehiscence of anther to release the pollen. Again, protection of the pollen grains and help in dehiscence to release the pollen. The innermost layer, that is tapetum, it provides nourishment to the developing pollen grains. The main function is to provide nourishment. Other than this, it secretes some of the many enzymes and hormones and some other chemicals which are important for the maturation and functioning of pollen grains. Okay. Now, the process of formation of pollen grains, microspores, from the mother cell is called microsporogenesis. What happens in microsporogenesis? There is a pollen mother cell which is diploid, 2n diploid. It undergoes the process meiosis and converts into tetrad, microspore tetrad. Each microspore is haploid. 4 cells are present together. Mother cell, after meiosis, is converted into 4 cells which are held together, and this condition is known as microspore tetrad. After this, microspore tetrad start maturing. All the cells, pollens, are separated and they start maturing. During maturation, the development of exine and intine occurs, and division occurs, mitosis, and each pollen grain divides into 2 cells, one large and other smaller one, The bigger one is called the vegetative cell, which has abundant food reserve and a large irregularly shaped nucleus. The smaller one, which is mainly the gamete part, is called the generative cell. So, after maturation, this is pollen grain, mature pollen grain. It has two layers, exine, intine. It has some of the vacuoles. Okay. Mainly, in many of the angiosperms, pollen grains are shed at this two-celled stage. In other species, the generative cell divides further and is converted into three-cell stage.